Hello everyone, welcome to this new moon sign series. Today it's Suga's and Hobby's turn, J-Hope. So we are going to start with Yungi. I'm going to explain a bit about what's a moon sign. A moon sign, we have in astrology we have three different aspects to define someone's personality, and those important aspects are your sun sign, your rising sign, and the moon sign. The rising sign and the sun sign, that is the sign that we all know, that we are all familiar with, that is the one that we read in the horoscope. Talk more about how we are in the outside. How we are in the exterior, how people perceive us. Sometimes it's like our main characteristics. It's how we present to the world. It's something that maybe can be seen. There are traits that can be seen like very easily. But the moon sign is solely different because the moon sign talks about our inner world, how we are inside, how we feel, how we perceive things, our emotional nature. It talks about your childhood, your relationship with your mother, and also how we express our emotions, and basically what happens in our inner world, like a more spiritual and like a more deep side of ourselves. That's why the moon is something that you cannot see easily in someone's personal traits. It's like they have to be really comfortable with you, they have to be really familiar with you, they have to trust you so they can show those traits. But once they do, you will start seeing them. And especially I wanted to focus on the boys' moon signs because since we've always been in contact with them and we've always been able to see some moments like of their lives being themselves by themselves, it's like I, as an astrologer, have always perceived their moon sign more than the normal signs that we all know. And that's why I wanted to talk about it. In this case, we're going to talk about Jungi, and I already placed everything here, and of course I placed it in a sign of Pisces because Jungi is Pisces, and this is the card that represents the moon, so you can see it and you can feel the energy of this planet. This is an aspect that talks a lot about what nurtures us, what we need to feel secure emotionally. And the next card that I pulled, it's the Virgo card because his moon is in Virgo when he was born. And this card is about the fourth house on the Wheel of Zodiac, that it's about childhood. So actually pretty much the Pisces person, it's very sensitive. It's a mutable sign, so it's very changeable. It's like someone that really can transform, and like a chameleon, it can become anything and at the same time not be nothing at all. They are very like ethereal, like they are very mysterious, they're very spiritual. So it feels like they are very like dreamy, like that you don't know exactly what you're watching or who you're talking to, because they are like that. Mystical, and at the same time they are very mysterious. It's like they are it seems like they are not from this world, that they are totally like different and at the same time special. So when you have a moon in Virgo by being a Pisces, we have to remember that in the signs we have opposite signs, and in this case, Pisces opposite it's Virgo, and Virgo is opposite to Pisces. So it means that their energies are totally different, because when we think about Pisces, Pisces is about the dreams, it's about illusions, it's about maybe living in a material world, and maybe to be a little bit like be able to fantasize. And when you have a Virgo moon, it's like in your inner world. You are actually more like honest and straightforward, and in the sense that you don't believe in anything unless it's proven. It's like Virgo nature, it's very analytical. They like to know things, they like to learn, they like to study, they like to analyze everything, but they are not the ones that are like a true believer that is like they believe in everything at first hands. For example, they are not people that maybe believe in like premonitions, or maybe believe that you have like a vision, or you have like a feeling, or you have like a deja vu. They don't believe in those things. They believe in what can be proven in the material world. So you can see this struggle here, because you can see this all dreamy, very mystical appearance, and in the inside he is like this. And actually we can see it a lot in Jungi, because sometimes Jungi does this thing that it almost seems like he always critiques the members, like he always is picking on them, but it's like he is stating facts about the members, but sometimes it feels like he is critiquing them. And actually that's the Virgo nature, because actually Virgo has that tendency of being really critical with himself and with others too, especially loved ones. So you can say that in a way of showing his affection, he sometimes can be a little like critical, and sometimes being like like saying things, that sometimes are like too harsh, but actually it's the truth. And so, but he has like this way to deliver some things that you cannot believe that he said it. And at the same time, Virgo nature is a very nervous nature, because they are actually like very hardworking people. So it's like they're always thinking about how to improve themselves. So you can see, if you have this thing in your emotional side, it means that you probably are not very emotional. Actually, he struggles with showing emotions in a spontaneously way, because he's afraid of being ridiculized, of being maybe coming too strong, or being like not well received, or being like, it's like Virgo energy, it's all about analysis, and it's all about also being really like to be able to calculate every move. So maybe in the emotional side, it's like they tend to think a lot about what makes them happy, in the sense that actually what makes them happy, since Virgo is an earth sign, What makes them happy is not having uncertainties. I mean, they don't like not knowing what's going to happen. They don't like not knowing if the other person reciprocates them, if the other person feels the same, if the other person likes them. So sometimes it's like they retreat themselves within themselves, and they actually don't talk about their emotions because they have this fear of being rejected. And at the same time, they view the world a bit like in a pessimistic way. They are very pessimistic in that sense. It's like they always presuming the worst, like not hoping it will get worse, but it's something that about this harshness and about this Virgo traits and Virgo energy that is all about achieving perfection, that it it makes you like really like anxious about the outcome of things, about how everything is going to turn out. And sometimes that's why they are workaholics, because they're always thinking about how to improve what's been already done. And when it comes to because it's like the way they feel that they have control over what's happening, and they tend to view emotions as this this not so comfortable place. They feel like if they feel emotions, they cannot control the emotions, because we know that they cannot be controlled. So that's why they prefer not to show their emotions. And sometimes they tend to to shove it under the carpet, to minimize it, to saying like, oh yes, it's okay, I don't want to talk about it, I don't feel anything. And actually, when you are Pisces, of course you feel anything. You feel the energy of the world, you feel the energy of the entire room, you feel the energy of everyone else around you. You're like an antenna. So you're very spiritual, you have like psychic abilities. So for him to have all these restrictions in his sorry guys, in his world, in his emotional world, it's really hard for him. It makes sense that at some time of his life he will, or he did, experience anxiety attacks and some kind of phobias too, because Virgo, it's all about perfection. And sometimes Virgo energy has like a fear of maybe viruses or bugs or things not to be clean or sanitized enough. So they tend to get a little bit paranoid about their own health and about their own security. They are very picky about personal hygiene too, about being organized, because it's like the same I said about JK when I did his reading. It's about this need of not having too much stuff in your environment. I mean, for example, in your bedroom, not having so much stuff, because it distracts you and it makes you feel anxious to have all those things like scattered around the room. They feel like they need to see the space clean. They need to see it like organized. They they like colors that are simple and light. For example, either he likes white or he likes black, but he likes to have this kind of harmony and not so much brightness. Um, he has he needs this certainty that everything will work out perfectly. That's why he spends so much working on details. That's why he always spends time on studio working, because Virgo, it's all about details. It's all about being orientated to to details and to be perfect. And sometimes what this mom needs is to be able to let go a bit, to be able to be more expressive. When we think about childhood, we think about, if you have a moon in Virgo, it's about you having a mother that maybe was a perfectionist herself, and was like really careful about having everything neat, about having everything in order, about maybe as a child dressing him perfectly. His clothes had to be like perfect, but at the same time, she would dress him like a doll, but wouldn't let him go outside and play, for example, because she was afraid that he would get dirty, or he would like go and play with the other members, and like with other children, and maybe like get dirty, because that's what kids do. So when your emotional world is so is so fearful, and it's so like cautious about what could go wrong, about what you don't want to go wrong, sometimes you have to work on yourself so you don't get anxiety attacks. People with moon in Virgo tend to do that. They also have to have a lot of like maybe problems with food too, because it's like they don't care what they're going to eat. They are not picky eaters, but they care that the source that the food came from, it's natural, that it's not like I don't know, like not natural, then it's like produced in a place that is very questionable. So they do pay attention to those details. Like I said, the importance of the hygiene, the importance of everything being tidy and clean. They do have, because they need that to feel safe. And actually, whenever they have like this emotional outburst, they tend to clean, and they tend to get on this mode that they go crazy and start like cleaning and arranging things, and tidying things, and organizing things, because it's like the order, the cleanness makes them feel like they are somehow in charge of their emotions. And actually that's not the case, because actually sometimes that's why we battle emotions inside of us. That's why sometimes we get sick or we get illnesses, because we have all these emotions vital inside of us, and we are not able to talk about it. So in this sense, Jungi and all people that have moon in Virgo have to learn that we can exist without the necessity of being productive all the time. We don't need to be working all the time. We can rest. We can be lazy one day. We can relax. We can let go a bit, let go of the fear, of the need of everything being perfect. We have to let go of it, because life is full of choices and is full of experiences that perhaps you are not allowing yourself to experience those different experiences and scenarios, because you are fearful about what could go wrong, instead of instead of seeing the possibilities of what could go right. So now we move on to hobbies. Hobbies moon is in Taurus. So if you can see this Taurus representation here, it's a woman, a beautiful woman, surrounded by nature, and beneath her, and we have like a coffer that it can, I think it can mean prosperity and abundance, because it can store a lot of things in there, especially material things. So when we think about the moon in Taurus, obviously we think about beauty and to be able to appreciate the beauty in things, especially in experimenting, like like um, to be joyful, to be excited about being surrounded by beautiful things. It doesn't mean it has to be luxurious, but it can be to be surrounded by nice smells, perfumes, and a good meal. To be able to wear comfortable clothes. They do like to dress in beautiful clothes also, because they do like the aesthetic side. So of course this is an interesting combination, because we know that hobby is in Aquarius, so we obviously know that Aquarius are like they are visionary. Aquarius is an energy that you cannot put into words, because they are like the rebels of the zodiac. They are very like different. They are not like everyone else. They are very independent. They like to be able to create. They like to be able to experience different things. They are very spontaneous in that way. They are people that is very like he has like a natural acceptance for everything that is not normal, or maybe of every, and not, I wouldn't say normal is the word, but maybe when in society we can think about something that maybe other people consider taboo. In Aquarius person, maybe despite of having like an a tight upbringing, they usually have like these ideas and this idealism about everyone being the same, and that we are all part of this world for some reason, and that we all should be respected and loved. So Aquarius, it's all about having those these open mindedness about it. They are very open-minded in that sense. So when you gather it with Moon in Taurus, this Moon in Taurus gives him more stability, because, as you know, Aquarius it's an air sign. So sometimes air signs people tend to be like a little bit like always moving, always changing, and they don't tend to be like really like stable and in constant about things. They are like always in constant movement and changing, so sometimes they don't have a lot of stability. They go from one thing to the other. I think we will see this also. We will talk deeper about this energy with Jimin, because Jimin is an earth sign with an earth moon, an air moon. So um, so it's definitely interesting to see this energy about the air not being able to stabilize, or not being able to create foundations for themselves. So in this case, when you have like a moon in Taurus, it gives you that ability, because it's like your inner world needs it. Your inner world needs you for needs you to have a stability. Um, um, it's like um, when you have an earth moon, you cannot stand uncertainty. You cannot stand not knowing where you stand on things. It can be about a career, it can be about a love relationship, it can be about your house, where you live, how you live. and it's like he has this adventurous side about Aquarius, this free spirit, but at the same time in his inner world he is like very stable in a sense that all his efforts and his emotional need is to be able to maybe if he achieves success to be able to be always successful and to be able to always be like prosperous about what he does. It's like he's not like someone that okay he maybe he if you say he trains a lot, for example winning a race, I give you this random example, and you train a lot because you want to win this race, and you train and you train and you train, and then okay, after you went through this and you already won your medal. It's like you're, oh okay, yes, I achieved my goal, I'm moving on to the next thing. Actually, for Hobby, it's not like that. He is like really concerned about always being consistent with his achievements. It's like he's not like, oh, I know this, let's go, let's move on to the next. No, he needs to take time to keep studying, to keep perfectioning himself, to keep being good at it. It's not someone that is like, oh yes, you're a good performer or you're a good dancer. It's okay, you know it all. No, he doesn't think that way. He thinks that you need to be consistent about your goals in life and to not take anything for granted, that you always have to work hard. That's the energy of Taurus, the energy of being able to go slow on your projects, but go with confidence and go to build like a security, to build with security. It's like he maybe the challenging side of this is that it's not easy for him to get out of the unknown, especially when we're talking about his inner emotions. I think I already mentioned his reading about his sister and this new chapter in her life. It's like he worries about it because it's like they had like a certain dynamic in the family, and all of a sudden this is changing, and a new person is coming into the family and is coming into her sister's life. So now it's like almost official that this man is going to be part of their life. So it's like Hobby is happy about it, but at the same time he's like, he's not worried, but he is like paying attention. Like it's like it's not easy for them to go through changes. It's not easy. Him, despite being an Aquarius, it's like, yes, he can take that you, and he can adapt that you change his whole schedule, and that you say, oh yes, no, we're not going to do this, we're going to do this. Okay, he that he can take. But when it comes to his loved ones, when it comes to his personal, his intimate world, is hard for him. And they tend to show appreciations and care to other people by giving them material things. So maybe if he, because Taurus is ruled by Venus, so maybe if they like you, they probably give you a present, but give you something that will help you look more beautiful or stylish or fashionable, because they like it's like they pay attention to the aesthetics of the things, because that's Venus energy. So maybe they give you clothes, perfume, jewelry. So he's definitely someone. I mean, if we look at him, we always know that despite his his fashion style is very um, different, because he likes colors and he likes all these designs that are totally different from others. He definitely has a taste for name brands, I mean, for luxury brands, for things that are expensive. And actually, he's really wise when it comes to that, because it's not that he buys like luxury things or luxury brands. It's just that he doesn't buy all the time. So whenever he has to buy, he makes sure that he buys the best quality, the best of the best, because Taurus is like that. Taurus is sometimes very cheap with their money. It's like they don't like to spend all the time. Actually, if you see this woman sitting on this cover, it's like she's taking care of it. I believe that there are coins in there, so she's like sitting on it to prevent it from opening it and losing it. So this is how they are with their emotions. It's like once you are special to him, and once you are part of his life, and once he considers you important, he's like this. He's always like, he's not like restricting you. He's just taking care of you. He's like holding you. He is like protecting you because you are dear to him. And for them, it's like I said, it's not easy to move to different places, changing jobs, maybe breaking up a long relationship is hard, because um, they need it, and they value stability, especially when it comes to something he is emotionally involved, and consistency in their interactions. It's like they um, it's like they have to be around their people to be able to open up and talk about what really matters to him. It's like, for example, you can see that they are always surrounded by a lot of people, and they're always traveling, and you never see J-Hope, you never see Hobby talking about his emotional side. You never see him talking about what worries him. You never see him talk about feelings or that sensitive side. He actually displays it with his closer people, with people that has been there for him for a long time. For example, the members, or maybe some people of the staff that has worked a long time with them. It's like he relaxes and he starts talking about feelings when they are in that surroundings, and they feel that they can open up. But he actually, if you see him, he doesn't talk about his struggles. He doesn't talk about maybe his insecurities. Maybe he doesn't. And it's like sometimes when he tries to address the subject, it's like he always end up laughing about it. So he makes it like this is the Aquarius energy coming through. It's like he's always like joking around about hardships. It's like he doesn't let himself go that deep with his emotions in front of a camera, especially in front of people that he doesn't trust fully, because it's like he has his circle of people, and he's really jealous of it. He's really like possessive of it. This is an important trait about Moon in Taurus, is that they are possessive. That's why you can see this lady sitting on this. She's like protecting it, but at the same time, she's very possessive of it. She it's like she is securing it. So he is like that, and with everything he loves, it's like if you are part of his love, of he loves you, and if you are part of his what he considers dear to his heart, you you are very cherished. You are very cherished by him. You are very like adored, and he wants to make sure that that you are taken care of, that you are okay, that you don't need anything. They are not very emotional people. They like I said, they don't tend to open up about how they feel or talk about their feelings, but they will show you. They will show you with actions. They will show you by providing for you, by giving you material things, stuff. That maybe you're like, oh yes, but I don't need more stuff. I want you to tell me how you feel. And they're like, they have to train a bit about it. So um, that's why I wanted to pair them both together, because they're both earth signs. So what I wanted you to understand is that they need, in their emotional world, they need stability. They need to be grounded. They need to feel that stability underneath their feet. It's like that's why these are earth energy, because earth is where we walk on. So if we don't have like a security, if we don't have like a stable floor to walk on, we are probably not going to feel secure. So sometimes, since the moon rules the emotional side, sometimes this doesn't make you that emotional. For example, someone who has like a moon in a water sign may be a little bit more emotional and more like in depth in a spiritual, but in this sense, they are actually very simple people. For them to be happy, for them to be able to maybe it's like they don't let things get to them in that emotional aspect. Sometimes they may feel like they are like cold in that sense, but they are not cold. It's just that they preserve themselves a lot, so that the exterior cannot hurt them. But actually, they need to work a lot about that, about being able to open up, because they have to have someone they trust to talk about things. It's not all about, oh yes, I feel sad, let's go shopping, or I feel sad, let's go like Jungi does, let's go work, let's go. I will go and lock in the studio, and I will work, because that's the moon in Virgo in him. So they need to learn to cope. They need to learn to connect with others. And the way that you can connect with your loved ones is to be able to move, open this cover, open it, and being able to show everyone how you feel. I'm not saying that he has to go around and talk to everyone about how they feel, but maybe they need to allow themselves to release a little bit this necessity of always having everything in control, because actually life and emotions are not about that. So it can benefit them to be able to open up a little bit, to be able to share a little bit of themselves with the world, to be able to speak about these needs, because these emotional needs don't fulfill with stuff. You cannot fulfill this emotional need with stuff, buying stuff, or I don't know, making everything look pretty, when maybe in the inside you are struggling because you are having like a heartbreak, or you are going through a tough time emotionally. It's like you need to be able to talk about how you feel, especially the earth moons. I see it in them, that the good thing about them is that they are not very emotional, so they don't cause drama, or they don't cause like this big outburst of maybe like scandalous behavior, because actually they are very hardworking people. So they go, they do their job, they perform, they attend, they are very on time, they are very professional, and they are really, as a head professional, they are very committed. They are very committed people, and actually, they may be the more stable ones in that sense. But at the same time, it would be good for them to be able to express themselves more. Maybe Jungi does it more when he writes lyrics. You can read it, you can hear it, you can feel it in his songs, and I think J-Hope needs to do that in his next creations. He needs to be able to talk about his emotional side, about maybe talking about things he cherishes, things he loves. For example, his song "Mama." It's very Taurus-like because actually Taurus moon people have like almost like an attachment with their moms because they are very close to their moms, because when they are usually younger, they tend to be like really like almost like possessive of their moms because they need her around so they can feel secure. So that makes sense that he had a song that is called Mama, because actually his mother is this energy. She provided him with the good stuff. She provided him with beautiful things around him. She probably bought him nice things, and also dressed him up really with beautiful clothes when he was a child, made him like amazing meals, and he has these memories of having this relationship with his mom, where his mom never went through a period of lacking, that she was always like this, that she was always prosperous. So that's why he needs that to be able to feel secure, emotionally, to be able to have beauty in his life, because he cannot stand the feeling of not having, that feeling of lacking, the feeling of despair or poverty. Or it's not that they are it's not that moon in Taurus are of superficial people, but it's just that they value stability in the economical sense, in the financial sense, and also because also they work really hard to get it. It's not like maybe you see this female sitting here and you're like, oh yes, she was born with a silver spoon, and actually not. Actually, Morning Taurus people are really hardworking. Like all the Taurus energy is like that. They are really hardworking. So they obviously feel proud about their achievements, but it's like they don't sit around and you're like, oh, okay, I made it. I made it. I'm going to relax. They are not like, no, I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep working because I want to keep providing. I want to keep the good stuff with me. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this moon series about Jungi and hobby. And the next one that we're going to do in the next couple of days will be Jimin. So I hope that you enjoyed it. And please, if you did, give it a like and subscribe. So thank you very much for being here with me.